Hi all of my lovely friends, and welcome back to another video with Mel. Today I wanted to go over the subject of failure and how you actually want to fail, and how failing is not something to look at as being upsetting or wrong or bad. So stick with me and let's get into the video. So I've said so many times on the channel before that failing is actually a good thing. You want to fail at times. Not all the time, obviously, but you do want to fail at times. Now, why is that? Why is it that we should want to fail? Failing is how you grow. When you do something and you fail at it, you learn how not to do it next time. You learn how to do it better next time, or you flat out know, okay, this idea doesn't work, this situation, it doesn't work, but maybe I can maneuver and try it this way. So failing is something that really does assist you and help you in growing. Now, as a medium and those that are developing their spiritual gifts and their spiritual abilities, failing is going to happen so many times, especially in the beginning. And I'm here to tell you that you're still going to fail years down the line. Not everything is going to be unicorns and rainbows, and not everything is going to be perfect. If you look at Gordon Smith, for example, he is a medium in the UK, and he still makes mistakes, and he still admits that he makes those mistakes. So you're going to get things wrong. As a spiritual person, especially somebody doing mediumship work, you are basically transcribing and trying to depict and understand what Spirit is giving to you. And so the transition or the translation of what you're trying to understand, what you're feeling and seeing and knowing, might not come across as how the person that you're sitting with understands. And that's going to help you grow. That's going to help you gain your ability. And believe me, for me, failing actually helped me build my confidence, because each time I failed, each time I did something wrong, each time a reading didn't go as well as I had hoped or as well as I had wanted, it only pushed me further and harder to try better the next time. So failing is not something to look at as something wrong or something bad. Failure is something positive, in my opinion. Failure is not a negative word. It's a positive word. Failing is what pushes you to try harder. Failing is what tells you, I don't want this, I don't like this, I don't need this. Failing is what tells you, let's try something different. Or something you've tried, okay, this doesn't work for me, this isn't what is going to be right for me in my life right now. So failure is not a negative word. I want you to remove that from your mind as being negative. Failure is something positive. So let me tell you, there is nothing like failing or falling on your ass or getting egg in your face because you just made a mistake or you failed at something that you thought was going to go a different way. But what that teaches you is how strong you are. Your ability to get up, your ability to pick yourself up after that and keep going and keep fighting for what you want. Keep going for what's in your heart and fighting for that desire inside of your heart. Now, speaking from mediumship wise, getting that egg on your face of standing in front of a client, sitting in front of a client on Zoom, and your reading is just not in your client. No, I don't get it. And you just feel like there's egg on your face. Believe me, those readings are the best readings to have because they're going to tell you what you did wrong. Journal the experience. Write down what worked, write down what didn't, and then write down what you saw or felt or knew or, something, however you got your information from the spirit communicator. Write it down and then work on it next time. And the next time you go into that practice reading with another client, say, hey, this is what happened in my last reading. Is it okay if I try to work on this with you in this reading? I've done that so many times in the past where I've set up a practice reading and I've told my client, hey, last time I saw a present and I'm seeing it now. Do you mind if I try to figure out what it is with you? Because in my last reading, it didn't make sense how I was translating it. So would you work with me on understanding what this could be? Every single time that I have told a client that I was practicing my mediumship with this story or this need of mine to want to develop something else, I have never had a client say to me, "That's ridiculous." No, they have all been so amazing and so open with me. So definitely tell your client that you're practicing with, say, "Look, this is a practice for me. I have failed on this in the past, and I feel like I didn't quite grasp what this was in a reading before. Can I work with you? Can you help me to better understand what this might be for you?" And go from there. Every person I've ever done that with, again, has been so open and honest with me and wanted to actually help me develop from that failure into something better and something stronger. Okay, so back to failure teaches you things that you don't want. Let's even go further into maybe a relationship. I've been in a relationship where I've failed at it, and now I know what I don't want in a relationship. So when you look back, especially after you've done so much healing work, and I've done a lot of it over the last 6 months, I can look back and say, okay, I failed at this within this relationship. This relationship failed here. This relationship didn't work here in this situation. And so previously I would just bawl and sob and cry and think, "Oh my God, I failed. I can't believe I failed. This relationship failed. It all fell apart." And I would use the word failure as something that was just negative and bad and something to feel bad about. But over the last 6 months of healing, I have learned that failure is actually a positive word. It is not a word to take in a negative manner. So let's go to relationships, and I'll use me for example. So I had a relationship fail where I was really in love with this person and the relationship just didn't work out. We're still friends, there's no issues there, but that failure taught me what I want in a relationship, what I don't want in a relationship, what I want to accept, what I will allow myself to accept, and what I will not accept at all. If those relationship situations with this person did not fail, I wouldn't know those things. I wouldn't know what's best for me. I wouldn't know what's good for me. I wouldn't know what makes me feel good and uplifted if I didn't have that failure in my relationship. Now, my grandparents, not every relationship, not every person's going to have a relationship to reflect on as a failure, so that might not work as an analogy for everybody. My grandparents, my grandfather saw her jumping rope when she was 14 years old, and he said, "I'm going to marry her." And they were married for 60 some years, and after my grandmother died, my grandpa still keeps his ring on, and he tells people, "Well, we didn't get divorced, she just died." He won't take it off, and he's 90 years old now, and my grandma's been gone for 11 years. So that relationship situation is not going to work for everybody, and God bless my grandparents, they're so amazing and I love them so much. So that analogy might not fit for you, but think of something in terms of, let's say your mediumship. Let's say you have a reading where you see things and your clairvoyance is not working for you, or you feel things and your clairsentience is not working for you, and you feel like you failed that reading. You feel like you failed during those times, or maybe you feel like you failed spirit and you're just doubting yourself and upset with yourself. I want you to take that as a positive. I want you to take that failure as a positive. Now you know what it feels like to, "Oh my gosh, I wish my clairsentience was open more. I wish my clairvoyance was open more. I'm going to work on these. I'm going to build these." Use that failure to give yourself that confidence and that strength. Don't use failure as a negative word. "Oh, I'm not clairsentient. I'm not clairvoyant. I can't do this." You flip that. Flip it right around and build yourself up from those failures. Change failure from a negative word in your vocabulary to a positive, and see how your life just absolutely changes after that. I promise you, it will change completely. Ever since I've turned that failure word into something positive and used it as a point to grow from, my life has completely changed and been so much more open and so much more positive and so much more free. So I encourage you all to do the same. I hope that this video helped you, and I would love to have your comments down below about ways that you've taken the word failure and changed it from a negative word to a positive word. How you've changed your life switching from negative to positive. As always, you guys, my Linktree link is in the description below where you can get a hold of me on Facebook, Instagram, and I will happily message you guys back if you have any questions or if you just want to follow me along on my journey. All of that is in my Linktree. If you'd like to book a mediumship reading with me or multiple other readings, I'm an energy healer as well. I do theta healing. I do Kundalini Reiki. That is in the Linktree below as well. As always, my lovely friends, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.